Hello and welcome to the Python for Absolute Beginner series. This is actually a continuation of the previous video that we had on if, else if, and else statements. I hope all of you are back here. Let's begin. So you're going to be looking at nested if statements, and the last one is multiple if statements. So what are nested if statements? As we know what if statements are, so nested if statements is just a way of just nesting other if statements in an if statement. So we are going to have like a tree structure. Like let's say we have an if statement here. So if the condition is true, we check for another if statement here in that order. So now let's move on. So let's say we have something like this. We have a number, and that number is equal to 9. So first we are going to check if the number, we already did this in the previous video, and if you don't understand the concept of if statements, please check out the previous video we had in this series. So we are going to check if the number is, let's say, less than 10. First we are going to pass this. Pass is just a way of just bypassing the if statements, knowing that we'll come back to it later. So else, you just want to print that the number is greater than 10. So this checks if the number is less than 10, and this evaluates to true or false. So if this is not true, it means the number is greater than 10. So we just print the number is greater than 10. So in here, we are also going to check for two things. First, we are going to check if the number is greater than 5. Let's pass this again. Or let's just print the number is greater than 5. And then else, we just print the number is less than 5. So what this means is we have a big if statement over here, which just checks if a certain number is greater than 10. It's less than 10, sorry. So if this number is not less than 10, it prints this. But if the number is less than 10, it enters this part of the loop. So in this part of the loop, we are just going to check if the number is greater than 5 again, print the number is greater than 5, else print the number is less than 5. So this is just what nested if statement means. So over here, we can also have another elif statement to check for other conditions. But in this case, we just want this too. So let's just run this and see what happens. As we can see, it prints the number is greater than 5. So let's trace this code. This says number is equal to 9. So over here, I'm checking if the number is less than 10. Well, is 9 less than 10? Yes. So we are going to enter this part of the if statement. So this part of the if statement also check if the number is greater than 5. Is 9 greater than 5? Yes, 9 is greater than 5. So we just print 5. So we just print the number is greater than 5 rather, sorry. And the code doesn't go to the else statement because in if statement, if one condition is correct, we ignore the rest in the statement. Yes. So why don't we make this number 4? 4, and let's run the code again. So in this case, it prints the number is less than 10 because it first check if the number is less than 10. Yes. Check if the number is greater than 5. No. So it goes into the else statement and checks if the number is less than 10. If the number is not greater than 5, rather, because here it says if the number is greater than 5, and since the number is less than 5, it goes to the else statement and just prints this. So that's the concept of nested if statement. So in this condition, we can also have another if statement again. So if another condition, then we just do something. All this is a way of nesting another if statement in another if statement. We can also nest another if statement in this if statement again. So let's just clear this. So this is all what I have on nested if statements. We'll be using more of this in the next lesson on a quiz that I've actually planned. So let's move on to multiple if statements. So multiple if statements is more than one if statement, but they are not nested in each other. They are actually independent of each other. So let's say we have a first if statement that looks like this. Let's give a number is equal to 9 again. So here we check if the number is equal to 9, we print equal. And we can also have another if statement outside this if statement, which is completely independent of the first one. So let's say if the number is less than 10, print, let's say we print less. So what do you think this code will run? If I run this checks if the number is equal to 9. Well, the number is equal to 9, so it prints equal. Comes to this if statement to check if the number is less than 10. Well, the number is less than 10, so it prints less. So what if I used an elif over here instead of another if statement? For an elif, let me first clear the console so you can see what's going on. If I run this, it just prints equal. It doesn't go into the next condition. As I said, for if statement, if the first condition is equal, it escapes the rest of the code that follows and just goes outside the if statement. So if I have print high over here, and let me clear this console again, and if I run this, it first checks if the number is equal to 9, it prints equal, exits this loop and goes to print high. So we have equal and high. So sometimes this is not what we want. We actually want to check if the number is equal to 9, print something, also have another condition down here, like if the number is also less than 10, print less. So sometimes we want the conditions to be independent of each other. We don't want it to break whilst one is true. So that's when we use, let me say, multiple if statements. That's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll meet in the next video.